Welcome back, listeners, to the Lust for Life podcast, where you'll be joining a girl on her journey to discovering the depths of emotional intelligence. This is your host, Tennessee Reed. Welcome back, everyone. Like always, it's so great to have you. I love each one of you, and I'm so grateful that you're listening, and it's just an honor to be able to make these podcasts every week. This week, I learned or came to the realization of something that I feel like has become a core belief of mine, and that has become a core belief of mine in the last 6 to 12 months. Now that I'm learning myself. I'm learning who I am authentically. I'm learning the best version of myself, and that changes a lot. But ultimately, I'm confident in myself to the point where I make decisions for me. I make decisions for what's best for me, what's best for my family, and what I truly believe aligns with my values. I, in the past, have made decisions based on what I thought others wanted me to do. I've made decisions based on what other people think I should do, instead of what decision should I make based off of me and my values and what I want. And that was a realization that I came to realize this week because I was having a conversation with somebody, and they were telling me how they maybe weren't having the best current relationship with their family, and how they were wanting to get a tattoo on their body because they knew their family would disapprove of it. And that was the message they wanted to share with their family was, I do what I want, stop telling me kind of what to do. And that was their purpose of getting this tattoo. And to me, this kind of looks like somebody making a decision based off of other people's reactions, based off of what they think they should do instead of what truly aligns with them. Do they really want this tattoo? Are they going to regret it in the future? Have they really thought through this? Is this tattoo really what is best for them and their values and their best authentic self and best version of themselves? And that's a hard concept to come to terms with, and I don't feel like I'm all the way there, but acknowledging it is a big step. But becoming your true authentic self, I've made a previous podcast about this, and maybe I should make another one, but it's hard. It's really hard because as soon as we are born into this world, we are crafted and welded into these different personalities and ways of being based off of what society thinks we should do, based off of what our parents think we should do, based off of what our teachers think we should do. We rarely get the opportunity to think in silence and contemplate and reflect off what we really want to do. I was actually reading a book this week that kind of talked similarly to this. It's the book that we're currently reading in the book club, and it's called The Mountain Is You by Brianne Wiest. And she talks about how your gut is neurologically connected to your brain. And your gut feelings is real and can tell you things if you listen to it. And she says your brain and emotions can give you kind of obnoxious and unrealistic or irrational answers, but when you listen to that small voice in your gut, that is a true reaction to something that you should pay attention to. For example, if you're not loving your job, you're naturally going to resist your job. If you love to play sports, you're naturally going to watch sports. You're naturally going to buy tickets to sports games. You're naturally going to do this. You're naturally going to do that. That is part of your gut feeling, your gut connected to your brain telling you yes or no, more of this, less of this. So that is one way that you can kind of use a tool to help reflect on who and what is your natural, authentic self. For me, I have so many things that I did not realize that I love to do. I love clothing and design. I've loved it since I was, as long as I can remember, honestly. And I've come to realize that this last few months because I've gotten to know myself so well that I'm like, yeah, I do love clothing and design. Like, I've always been into that. I've always been into the details of it. I've always paid detailed attention to fabrics and how they feel and how they look, the transparency of fabrics, how they fit with other fabrics. Like, I naturally am gravitating towards that. I naturally like to style things. I naturally like to do all that. And I just thought that was kind of like not normal, but very common at first. But the more I reflected, I'm like, I pay a lot of attention to this. Like, maybe this is something I need to like read more into and maybe utilize a little more, because it is a skill that I've naturally developed. So that's one example of just your authentic self. But let's go back to this book. This book, Your Gut, helps you to know what you're naturally gravitating towards, what you're naturally kind of deflecting, and that helps you to know what you truly want out of life, who you really are, who you really want to be, what do you really want to accomplish. Because when you find yourself resisting those things, that's your way of saying, oof, this may not be for me. Maybe we need to reevaluate. And that's kind of the process, one way to take the process on of discovering your true authentic self, your best version of yourself, what truly makes you happy, what goals align with your values. You are going to be most successful when what you do in this life aligns with your values, your interests, your passion, because when you combine all of that, you can accomplish incredibly important things, incredible things that you would not have been able to do if all those values weren't aligned, if all those things weren't there. When those power blocks are there, you truly can accomplish anything. So if we kind of backtrack here a little bit to the example I gave of this conversation I was having this week with somebody and this tattoo, when you know who you truly are and you are confident in your decisions, because when you know who you truly are, you are confident in your decisions most of the time. You know what your values are, you know what you stand for. It's healthy to keep an open mind, but for the most part, you stand firm in what you believe. You wear it on your sleeve. You wear yourself on your sleeve. So people know exactly what you bring to the table. They know how you're going to act. You walk the talk and you talk the walk. You do it all. And when you are at that level, which I don't believe I am yet, but I'm really trying to get there. When you're at that level, you never let outside people in your life influence the decisions you make. When you are at that level, you're so confident in yourself that hard decisions in the past are easy now. It's actually easy for you. When you do the work now, it's going to be way easier for you in the future. And I feel like when you let others influence the decisions you make, every single decision, that's exhausting. It's exhausting. You're constantly thinking about what others are going to think of you. You're constantly thinking about, how are people going to view me? Are they going to be my friend? Are they still going to love me? Do they think I'm weird? Who cares? We are not all meant to be replicated monoclones people. We are meant to be our own personality, and we are meant to be us. That's why this world goes round. That's why God designed you that way. He designed you with this personality, with this knowledge and this characteristics that you have, because you have special gifts and He wanted you to bring that to this world. And so when we suppress those gifts and we kind of ignore them, or we're not our authentic self, we're not only doing ourselves a disfavor, we're doing a disfavor for all those around us. We are doing a disfavor for those watching our decisions, because if you are living your true authentic self, you are blessing not only yourself, you're blessing others' lives. You are this ramification of energy. So let's make sure that we're ramifying, if that's a word, good energy and not bad energy, because it has an equally or even more influence when you're giving bad energy and when you're not living your true authentic self. because negativity is very, very contagious. And I think David Goggins said this in one of his books. The only thing more contagious than a good attitude is a negative one. For some reason, negativity just overpowers. So it's like 10-to-1 ratio, I feel like, at least. 10 compliments to 1 criticism, even probably 100-to-1. Negative energy sometimes just sucks, and it's just hard to get over. So living your true authentic self is doing not only you a favor, but everybody around you. And I wanted to also top on that. This is something that I shared with our Sunday school class today. It was our last class together, so I kind of wanted to give them my last little pearl. But my essential message was, people are watching you. You may not know it, but your actions matter. They not only affect you, but they affect everyone else around you. And that's for the good and for the bad. A good decision is going to inspire others. It's going to uplift others. And you may not see the results of that. That's what's so hard about it. You just have to have faith that what you're doing is helping others by just purely being an example and being your authentic self and bringing the gifts that God has given to you into this world. And when you maybe aren't as great of an example, that also affects others, because people say, hey, look at them, they're doing that. That's okay that I do it then. Hey, look at that, they're doing this. Let's get together and let's have a pity party together. So it goes both ways. Two-sided sword there. But yeah, that was kind of the message that I shared, my last little pearl, with our Sunday school class today. And that was like the one nugget that I'm like, please remember that. But your influence matters. Your decisions matter. And that people are watching you. So it's important to live your best version of yourself. You'll be happier and you'll make everyone else around you blessed. You are a blessing to this world. And that's what I want to share with you guys today is you are such a blessing to this world. And you may not feel like it, but your personality, your gifts, your talents, just you being you is a blessing to this world. So use it, and use it to your advantage to bless others and yourself and your family, and you will be so much happier. This is something that I am learning about myself, and it's been really cool and kind of relieving at the same time to just jump into my true self and kind of develop those personality traits that I maybe lost along the way somehow. And it's been really fun to just live unashamed and live just truly myself, and I just have no regrets about it, and I'm excited to continue to kind of unravel that. It's kind of like a mystery. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot I liked this, or oh yeah, I want to spend more time doing that. Like, it literally could be finger painting, like anything that like truly just makes you happy, and something that you maybe enjoyed in the past, or something that you've learned to enjoy today, and you're like, I want more of that. That also could be part of it. So that is my message for you all today. Thank you so much for listening. A reminder, we are doing the book club. We're meeting June 7th. So if you're interested in meeting and joining that podcast that I'm going to record, then you can shoot me a message on Instagram. And once again, thank you all so much for being here. I love you all. Have a great week, and let me know if I can ever do anything for you. Love you all.